This is R.D. Sharma Solution, Class 12. Chapter 18 we are taking Maxima and Minima. Exercise is 18.5. Find the coordinates of the point on the parabola. This is the parabola equation, which is closest to the straight line y equals to 3x minus 3. Now, let me make a parabola. Let it be any shape, because question can be parabola, hyperbola, it can be any. It can be any conic section. But we need a line and this particular parabola or any shape distance, and this distance has to be minimum. This distance has to be minimum. So the parabola equation and the line equation is already being provided to us. So let me tell you that a distance of a point from a line which has to be minimum. What is the formula for that? So xy is the point we are talking about, and this straight line. So what will be y if you take it as x? You can take it as xy, but since the parabola equation is already given, why not to use it? So if x is x, y will be what? Y will be x square plus 7x plus 2. So these are the x and y points for the beginning. Now distance will be what? See, this is x and y. I'm talking about x and y distance. So distance of a point from a line is, we replace ax plus by plus c. X and y is being replaced by the x and y, the point from which the distance has to be formed or calculated. Now this y equals to 3x minus 3 is of the form y equals to mx plus c. And we are going to formulate it in the form ax plus by plus c. And need to make maximum positives here. You'll see just now. So we need to rearrange this equation. Y equals to mx plus c. Also we have a formula for that. That distance of a line that is y equals to mx plus c from x and y, that is also possible. But the better way is this ax plus by plus c. It goes with all the conic sections and other figures. So we have this x, in this ax plus by plus c, you have to replace x by what? X I have written in the first, that is the parabola, and y also the parabola. So I am multiplying this equation by negative so that I need maximum positives. That will make our life easier. You'll just see now how it will be easier. So this a is negative 3, b is 1, and c is 3. Okay. So in the denominator, when we talk about the distance, it will be under root a square plus b square. I'm not writing the formula, just saying it, so you need to keep it in your mind. So we have a square plus b square, negative 3 whole square plus 1 square, a square plus b square. And now in the numerator it will be ax plus by plus c, and xy has to be taken as xy the coordinate points from where the distance is being sought. Okay, this is negative 3 is a, b is a 1, and c is 3. And in place of x I'm writing x, and here ax plus b, y, so b is a 1 and y is of course x square plus 7x plus 2. How about c? C has to be written like that. C is 3. So just write 3 here. C again, x has to be kept here, y has to be kept here, and c is of course 3. So this is your distance. This is your s. You can call it as a distance. Now this ds by dx, call it as a distance s. You can call it as a d also. So I am now simplifying it and then differentiating it. So this denominator is of course 1 by under root 10. This differentiation, I am doing this differentiation. So it is minus 3 plus 2x plus 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. You are going to get 2x and plus 4. So numerator you have 2x plus 4. Denominator you have under root 10. Next step is what? Of course we have to equate it to 0 in order to get the critical points. So 2x plus 4 by under root 10 has to be equal to 0. Under root 10 cannot be 0. 2x plus 4 has to be 0. So this will give you x equals to negative 4 by 2. That counts to negative 2. Now we have already got x equals to minus 2. How about the point y? Let us find it here only. Then we'll go about the nearest and the maximum minimum. Here we have y equals to, I am just replacing x by negative 2 in the equation of parabola. So you'll get a y here, and that is the value minus 8 it will come. Minus 2 and minus 8. Negative 1, negative 2 and negative 8. These are the x and y points. Okay. Now you need not to stop here, because one of the important aspect, because we are talking about minima and maxima chapter. So this closest means we have to take d2s by dx square, that is double differentiation. And when we take this double differentiation, you are going to get what? See, under root 10 will remain like that. 2x plus 4 is there. This 4 is going to be 0 only. 2 by under root 10 will come. So 2 by root 10 is greater than 0. That signifies and indicates that when it is positive, we are talking about minimum. So this diagram is important and the distance equation is very important. So all those we discussed is here. Now find the point on the curve, this one, which is at the minimum distance from the point 1, 4. And if you recall, this question 28 we have discussed in detail. And after that 29, 30, 31, 3 questions, 4 questions were there. And they were similar to this one which we are talking about. So you can just take the notes here or you can take the reference. The concept remains the same. Find the maximum slope of the curve, this one. So this slope has to be maximum. This is the catch of this question. This question seems to be pretty easy, very nice. But there is a simple catch. You'll just see now. The first one is the slope. What is slope? It is dy by dx, it is tan theta, and it is m. There are so many names and the ways we represent a slope. Y is already there with us. It is negative x cube plus 3x square plus 2x minus 27. dy by dx has to be computed. Then when we differentiate this, you are going to get negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. But this dy by dx, are you going to equate it to 0? No. Because the catch is this dy by dx was minus 3x square plus 6x plus 2. But we are talking about slope. So this dy by dx is slope. So this variable which I have written here, which is m, is actual equation to start with. We are not starting with the y equals to negative x cube like that. Actually, we have to start with negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. This is the slope. Now you have to differentiate this. Okay, you are differentiating the slope which is asked in the question. So we have this negative 6x plus 6, and when we equate it to 0, it will be equal to 1. So x is equal to 1 we got here. So first thing, is it clear to you now? We are not dealing with this original equation. We have to differentiate. That will come to slope, and then we will start our actual things. Now d2m by dx square, that is going to give you maximum or minimum. This x equals to 1 is already there with us. Y equals to what? If x is equal to 1, what will be y? Keep it in the original equation, because of course we have to start with the original equation. So when you replace x by 1 in the original equation, x is 1, y is negative 23. X and y are 1 and negative 23. But what about this? 1 minus 23, is it the answer? What do you think? See, we have to find out the maximum slope. And slope is dy by dx. And dy by dx is negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. So we have to use not the original equation, but negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. Here you have to place x equals to 1, and then we'll find out the value of m, which is the slope. Actual equation is this one, as I have been reiterating again and again. I'm taking 1 and keeping it in m equals to negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. That is going to give us 5. This m is 5. So this 1 comma negative 23 is not the what we wanted. It's actually 5. 1 comma 5. You can call it, or you can say that slope is 5. Or now, next one is the only thing which you will learn from this is there are 2 steps sometimes you need to follow. And all other things remains the same. Just differentiate the equation and start with the negative 3x square plus 6x plus 2. Other things like differentiation, going into 0, finding out this double differentiation, all this remains the same. The total cost of producing X radio sets per day is rupees this one. And the price per set at which they may be sold is this one. Find the daily output to maximum the total profit. Now when it comes to profit, you have to just return back to your earlier standards or classes. That is, the formula which we have learned is profit is the selling price minus the cost price. That means if you got something for 5 and sold it for say 7, the difference 2 is the profit. This is the profit. And this profit, selling price and cost price to be extracted from this question. Since there are X radio sets per day, the total cost of producing X radios per day is this one. X square by 4 plus 35X plus 25. So in order to get the selling point, we have to multiply X with this one. I'm so sorry. X into 50 minus X by 2, because it is the price set at which they are sold. Sold means selling. You are selling. So X has to be multiplied by 50 minus X by 2. That is going to give you the selling point. Alright. And the total cost of producing X set, which is the cost price, which is, you don't have to multiply anything with this. This is already given in the question. So X square by 4 plus 35X plus 25. This 35X plus 25 is our cost price. So multiplication of X with 50 minus X by 2 will give you selling price, and the original thing which is given X square by 4 and all those things are the cost price. Now just multiply and simplify. When you add all these, you are going to get, means it's simply the 50x minus 35x is 15x. This is going to be 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. It's going to give you 6 by 8. That is 3 by 4. So you have 3 by 4 x square, and then you have 25. 3 by 4 x square and 25. Just write 25 here. This is your profit. Now we need to maximize or minimize the total profit. In this question, it has to be maximized. I'm just saying minimize because there may be question in your exam that may be calling for finding out the minimum profit. That is not what generally in real life it happens, but just for the sake of completion. I'm not differentiating now. We need to differentiate this. Once we differentiate it, we have to equate it to 0. Once we equate it to 0, that just means we are going to get the critical points, and critical point is x here. What is x here? X is 10. When you get x equals to 10, that is the final answer. So you need how many? 10 radio sets. But there is one more step. Can you guide me? What is the step? Double differentiation. You have to differentiate it again. When you differentiate it, it is going to be negative 3 by 2, which is negative, and this negative is indicating that we are talking about the maximum. So it's quite easy, but the only thing is if you can recall all these things which you have learned earlier, it will be pretty easy. So this question is exactly similar to what we have just done, and I generally, when the questions are similar, I just show you the reference so that you can go about it solving, because all the logic has been actually imparted in the previous question. But I'll still make the equation here. Profit is selling price minus cost price, and what is being bought, what price it is being sold, the difference is the profit. So X item at a price of 5 minus X by 100. So when you multiply these two, you are going to get the selling price. X into 5 minus X by 100. What is the cost price? It is X by 5 plus 500. This X by 5 plus 500 is going to be your cost price. Now this question is on this differentiation is quite easy. You can just differentiate, equate it to 0, you will get x. Try to show the examiner that D2, that is double differentiation, also you have done, and that is going to be negative, that is indicating the maximum profit. And any problem, just let me know, we can discuss this further. An open tank is constructed with a square base and a vertical side so as to contain a given quantity of water. Show that the expenses of lining with lead will be least if depth is made half of width. So depth is equal to width by 2 is what we need to get. And you are just going to witness the most beautiful drawing you have ever seen. I'm just drawing the open tank. I'm trying it to make it as beautiful as I can. Let's see how it goes. So this is the tank I'm making. Please remember, the base is a square. The base is a square. The tank is open from above. It is open. So you have 4 walls and the base to deal with. Okay. The height is h. You can call it as depth also. V will be the volume, and surface area, because the expense of lining of lead, that will come from surface area only. So these are all our let, guess or imaginations. Volume is what? What is the volume? See, since it is open from one side, we have to just stick to the basics. any shape, the area of the base into height is what is the volume. So this is the length, because this base is a square, all will be L. So volume is area of the base, which is L square. And how about the height? You can call it as a depth also, it is H. From this we get equation number 1, V by L square is H. Now we need the surface area. What is the surface area? Surface area is 4 walls plus the base. So we have this because there has to be something to be done here. That is the lining of the lead. Okay. So the base area will be what? L square, length into breadth. And because this is a square, it will be L square. So this is the base. Now there are 4 walls here. The 4 walls, one of the area will be H into L. So 4 walls are there. So 4 into H into L. So H into L you can take, but just multiply it by 4 because there are 4 you can say walls. So what did I tell you just now? Surface area is L square plus 4HL. Now this L square plus 4 into L, this H has to be replaced by V by L square. You can just cancel these two. Surface area is L square plus 4V by L. Next is ds by dl. Differentiation we are going to do. And with respect to L, so it will be 2L minus 4Y by L square. Because there is 1 by L, it is definitely going to give you a negative in between. Now this has to be equated to 0. Once we equate it to 0, you are going to get 2L is equal to 4V by L square. And there is a relationship which we are going to use it in later part. L cube is equal to twice of volume, 2V. This is, you can mark it as equation number 2 if you want. But L cube equals to 2V, we are going to just use it. What about the other thing? Depth has to be equal to half of width. In this case, we need to prove depth was H and width is L. So the depth, that is H, will be equal to L by 2. That is what we have to prove. Okay, I'll just go with that later, but we need to do the differentiation because we have to show also the least part. That is the whole idea of this chapter, maxima and minima. So it will be d2s by dl square is, I'm differentiating this equation, so it will be 2 plus 8v by L cube. Now in place of L cube, just put this 2v from equation number 2. So this is 8v by 2v, this is 4. So you will get 6. It is positive. Positive means least, minimum. This we have proved. Now we have to prove depth is equal to width by 2 also. So this height is v by L square from equation number 1. Now just employ equation number 2 or utilize it and then try to find out whether you are going to get the relationship which I just told you. That is depth H is equal to width by 2, L by 2. So H is V by L square. This V has L cube by 2 as one of the thing, or L cube is 2V, V is equal to L cube by 2. Just keep it here. So H equals to V is L cube by 2. L square is already there. This gets cancelled, so H is L by 2. This is what we need to prove. This is what we got. Okay. So just remember, H is the depth, width is the L. So all discussion is represented here in front of you. This question later part. Thank you so much.